a survivor, writer and facilitator for transformation and healing who has helped to contribute to today's exhibition. Pamela, will you take the stage?
Hi everyone, my name is Pamela. I'm really thankful that all of you are here today and thank you for your interest and support of this event. Let's first put our hands together to thank the founder of this event, Cindy Bishop, UN Women, Beam Artists, and also Rare, and also all my fellow survivors who took part in this exhibition. I'm very grateful for this exhibition and for it landing in Singapore because it is very much needed in our society. I'll stand here so you guys can see me. Many of us here in Singapore are lucky enough to have a university education. But how many of us are actually truly educated in the ways that really actually matter? Through my own experiences as a survivor and meeting other survivors, I have observed that it's so much more education needed here in Singapore, not just in how we relate to survivors, but overall, how we relate to one another on a day-to-day basis. I just want to note here that for myself and for many of the survivors I've met, the term victim is not one we identify with purely because the word victim connotates victimhood. And when we change the way we address ourselves and speak to ourselves as survivors, that actually marks the road, the turning point towards our empowerment. In 2010, I authored an article, "Does My Short Skirt Invite You to Violate Me?" This can be found on Aware's website. It details an incident I had with a group of men who spoke about another woman saying that her attire was asking for it. I showed no outward signs, but deep down, I was very, very triggered, hurt, and upset. Because by then, I had already experienced multiple incidents of sexual violence here in Singapore. Each time I actually gathered up my courage to seek help or ask for support, "What were you wearing?" was one of the first few questions that I was shamed with. I know that this is also the first question that many survivors who try to seek for help and look for support are often faced with. If right now you find yourself subconsciously scanning my outfit, stop right there, because it doesn't matter. It never was the issue. You can quickly see from the range of clothes in this exhibition that what we wear is a non-issue. We need to shift the narrative away from blaming and shaming survivors towards asking questions that actually really matter, such as, why did the perpetrators do this? The question, "What were you wearing?" is a tight slap in the face to any survivor. In fact, what were you wearing? This question isn't just a dangerous myth, it can be deadly. When survivors are ritually shamed and blamed by people around them, it denies their stories, makes them doubt themselves, and erodes their self-esteem. Many survivors like myself are so overwhelmed by the shame and blame that we try to take our own lives. I survived my multiple attempts at taking my own life, but I also know of many women who died bearing this shame. So this shaming needs to stop right now. This exhibition and this conversation around sexual violence is not about clothes. It is a starting point for us to understand that we can pause and choose to say things less carelessly. That we can make better choices as individuals and as a community and as a nation. That we don't have to sweep things under the carpet and let things continue fester in silence and let our wounds grow. If I, as a survivor, have put in the work and managed to forgive all my attackers, and trust me, there are many, why can't each one of us choose to put aside our biasness and old ways of engaging? Why can't we choose to listen to one another with empathy and compassion? Let's become a society where we can have real conversations with open hearts. I am here because I believe we need to raise awareness about the alarming prevalence of sexual violence crimes in Singapore. I'm here because many still are unaware that this happens in developed Singapore. It happens. And I'm still here because many people who do know that this is happening are uncomfortable speaking up about it. It is time we had the maturity, the strength, and the heart to look at the real issues at hand. Let's look at what consent is. That's a start. How to recognize clear consent. How to practice healthy consent in our daily lives. And, as a way that all of us can start helping, how to speak up and step out when consent is violated. Let's look at how to manage anger safely, and let's look at how we can stop making each other feel small. Aware has an ongoing campaign called Aim for Zero. It was launched last November by Minister Shanmugam. At aimforzero.sg, you can find actionable steps for everyone to combat sexual violence and support survivors. It is not just a women's issue. Like both of them mentioned before, it is an issue for everybody. Everybody here in Singapore, every single member of community, male, female, whatever your sexual orientation, whatever your preference, every one of us, each one of us matters. And it will take all of us for greater change to actually happen. As a survivor, as a daughter, as a human being who cares about the world and other people at large, I hope one day to see and live to see the day that such exhibitions are no longer needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. That was powerful. Right now, we'd like to invite to the stage Ms. Anisha Joseph, Head of Care Services of Aware, for short sharing. Thank you so much.